What I wanted to do just now is talk about a particular health concern that stretches pretty much across the world. I'll make you try and think about it not in the straightforward way. I'll try and challenge the way you think about this particular health concern a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about all your career options, etc., that we have within the Faculty of Health here at the University of Canberra. So first of all, what do we think is one of the major issues in terms of health that we have? Anyone want to have a go? Obesity. Yeah, so spot on. We've picked it straight away. It's exactly what I'm going to talk about. So what I'm going to show you is some data that comes out of the United States. So what you see is a map of the United States. So it's broken down by each state. If the state is coloured white, it means obviously we don't have any particular data for them at the moment. And then we change the colour. And the colour represents how much of the population is classified as obese. Okay, so this data, if you have a look in the top left, comes back from 1985. So before you guys were around. And if you have a look at the colours and how they change. So in 1986 we see a few more of the states are coloured in, so we've actually got some data. And you'll notice we're starting to change colour as well. So we're going from less than 10% of the population being obese to somewhere between 10 and 14% of the population being obese. And so that data is just changing over only a 3-year period. So let's keep going, and all of a sudden in 1991 we have to introduce a whole new colour. Right? So now we've got 15 to 19% of the population of those states that are classified as obese. And pretty much now you can see most of the United States of America is pretty much coloured. We'll go through a few more years. And all of a sudden in 1997 we've introduced another whole new category. So what we're seeing is we're seeing data about how the population is changing. How more and more of the population within the United States of America is becoming obese. Right? And we're still back in 1997. So we're still over 10 years ago. Why is obesity an issue, first of all, before I go on? Yeah. Yeah, so the things that are going to cause, obviously, obesity is what you bring in. So things like nutritional things. Someone's eating chips there in the background. Nice. Yeah, cover that up. But why is obesity an issue? Is obesity an issue in itself? No. Not really? We don't think it is? Yeah, exactly. So obesity is related to a lot of other chronic diseases. Okay, so we know that it's linked to things like diabetes. We know it's linked to things like cardiovascular diseases. We know it's even linked to things like back pain, joint problems, all those other neuromuscular type issues that we have going on. So you can see we've got our nutritionists involved. We talked about nutrition before. We've got our physiotherapists involved. Obviously, if you've got lots of ailments, then you're probably a little bit more depressed. So we've got our psychologist involved. So you can see all of a sudden that we're incorporating all these different health and health careers within this one phenomenon that it's influencing. But I'm still back in 1997, so I'm going to go forward a few more years. Whoops, 2001, another new colour. Incidentally, notice where this is positioned. This is pretty much the home of Kentucky Fried Chicken around this kind of area. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And now we get to 2005. So we're still 5 years ago. And all of a sudden, they've given up trying to introduce new categories, and they've introduced a particular category which is just more than 30% of the population is classified as obese. That's 1 in every 3, at least. Okay, so the percentages could be even higher. And so the USA, of course, is in a lot of trouble with all their financial problems at the moment, and a lot of that is contributed by the health system that they have over there. And you can start to see why their health system is so overburdened. But unfortunately, this phenomenon isn't just restricted to the US. It's pretty much worldwide. Australia often makes claims of being the most obese population in the world in certain categories. The UK does as well. So it goes globally. Now I've got data here that goes right up to 2009. And so we can see that obesity is this massive issue in the United States. The state that's still blue is Colorado. So it's where they do a lot of skiing. You hear about Aspen and one of the most famous ski resorts in the US. It's also a state that generally the altitude is quite high, and it tends to be a very active population and stuff as well. Maybe that says something. It's a cold climate and tends to be quite high and a very active population. So maybe that tells you something about what's going on. So obesity, and this is data from right up till last year. Obviously we don't have data for this year yet, but that's right up till last year. Okay, so normally if we see someone walking down the street and we think of them as being fat, then we think, oh, there's all sorts of issues going on. But it's not quite that straightforward. And this is where it becomes really important to get an education to start to understand some of these issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you this short clip. It's going to go for about 7 minutes. And basically it's a TV little documentary. It's from Catalyst. And it talks about the difference between being fat and healthy. And I think it's quite a interesting little video. So
it's said, never judge a book by its cover. Well, Dr. Norman Swan from Radio National's Health Report adds some real weight to that. This is his first story in a new series for Catalyst, and he tells us some startling facts about fatness and fitness.
Spend time in any gym and you'll see all kinds of body shapes. But people's perceptions of fitness are often misguided. Lean doesn't always mean healthy, and fat doesn't necessarily mean unfit. So can you be fat and fit? It's a really important question to answer, because if you can be fat and fit, it could make a huge difference to your health. I've got a photograph of Pam here. Pam's 122 kilos. So I'm going to ask people to see what they think.
She sort of looks really large around the middle.
This person's 122 kilos. Do you think she could be fit?
No, she's not fit. Not at that weight, no.
What if I told you she was a personal fitness trainer?
Was she? Oh, okay. I wouldn't be going to her classes.
Right arm. Jog. Knee up high. Good. Long arms past your hips. Long arms. I teach aqua exercise, group exercise, and I'm a qualified personal trainer. I think that the world sees me as someone who is out of shape, unfit, overweight. Good. Good. Look at your push, push, push.
Most people I asked thought there was no way Pam could be fit. So early one morning, we met for a jog.
I like to move it. You like to move it. I like to move it.
Did well there. Ready for some more?
Pam was a lot fitter than I'd thought. So for the facts behind fatness and fitness, I linked up with Professor Steve Blair from the University of South Carolina. He's one of the world's leading exercise scientists.
So can you judge a book by its cover when it comes to fitness versus fatness?
No, you can't tell by looking whether someone is fit or not. There are normal weight people who are quite unhealthy, and there are fat people who are quite healthy. You just can't tell by looking.
Blair and his team have been researching the link between fitness, fatness and health outcomes for over 25 years. Their sample is now well over 80,000 people, one of the largest studies of its kind.
We were looking at cardiorespiratory fitness or aerobic fitness. We also looked at their body composition and fat distribution and compared those data to their risk of dying as well.
And what did you find?
Well, both fatness and fitness predict mortality. That is, the fatter individuals were more likely to die, and the less fit individuals were more likely to die.
To what extent, then, does fitness abolish the risk of fatness?
Fitness pretty much eliminates the risk of fatness in the analyses that we've done.
To verify Blair's findings, Pam met up with exercise physiologist Professor Steve Selly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. This is a step test that we've designed, and it's designed to predict VO2 peak or peak aerobic endurance. I'm also monitoring your ECG and your oxygen levels as we're going through this test. Okay?
Pam's BMI, or body mass index, is 42. You calculate it by dividing your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared.
Okay, we're up on the next workload. And your heart
A person with a BMI of over 30 is obese. That means over 40 is very obese. So it seems to defy logic that such a large person can be fit. But are we missing the point?
I think we focus too much on obesity. There are people of BMIs over 40 who are fit. There are many fat people who have perfectly normal health profiles.
And Pam's cardio profile is within the normal range.
You're going to be able to see the minute out, do you think? Nope. If you need to. You need to okay, stepping on the spot. Very good. Just stepping on the spot now for recovery. So you've gone 9.5 minutes with a heart rate of 155, which is about what we were looking for. It just shows that a big person can get just as fit as anyone that's lean.
So what do these figures mean in terms of Pam's aerobic fitness?
I found your VO2 peak score at 33.3.
This score refers to how much oxygen her body can use per minute of exercise. The higher this score, the better. This places Pam in the average to good category for women of her age. And given her size, this is a great result.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I love exercise. I like to do something most days of the week. Enjoy sweating, so I love the cardio machines at the gym or going for a run, going for a walk, doing a group fitness class.
So a reasonable question to ask is, if Pam's doing all this exercise, how come she's still so big?
I guess it's because I like my food, and I don't know. I don't know why I'm still big. I have days where I would like to be thinner. I think that the outside pressure, especially being in the fitness industry, of having to look a certain way would create more opportunities for me. But for myself and who I am, what I can do, I'm very happy with my body.
There's no question that it's a really good idea to lose weight. But from your health point of view, it's much better to be fit. And you can be fat and fit. So what's the prescription? It's 30 or 40 minutes of moderate exercise 5 or 6 days a week. And what's moderate? Well, it's enough to get your breathing up a little, but not a lot. And if it feels moderate to you, it is. So go for it.
As usual, for a lot more information, check out our website where you can download.
All right, so it's not quite as straightforward as what we might think it is. By all means, the particular individual on there is probably not going to be an athlete. They're not going to be able to run in the Commonwealth Games or something. But it's not quite as straightforward as what we often think.